Welcome, everybody, to another breakdown of the NBA Daily Fantasy site with me, Jericho. On Twitter, of course, it's at In Jericho's Words. Pretty rough fucking couple days. Why the fuck was Klay Thompson 50% owned yesterday? Does anybody have a fucking answer for that? I saw somebody say, well, he does good against the Pacers. Are you fucking kidding me? The guy's reached value like 2 or 3 times the whole fucking season. And for some reason, he's fucking 50% owned. Give me a good fucking explanation as to why he was 50% owned, because I want to fucking hear it. Tweet me, add in Jericho's Words. It's really fucking ridiculous. Mike Conley, the guy played 20 fucking minutes. 20 fucking minutes. And scored 0 points for the first time since January of 2013. So that's pretty much how my night went. Randy Foy, fucking asshole. Moutier, fucking asshole. Neither one of them got the minutes they usually get. Paul George decided that he was going to go fucking nuts. The spread on the Warriors game, I think, was 215, and it ended up in the 260 range, if I'm not mistaken. Correct me if I'm wrong. The fucking Warriors are a fucking disaster in daily fantasy. You never know if the game's going to be close. You never know how many minutes anyone's going to play. And then for some reason, all these fuckheads decided to stack this game. And then, on top of that, I actually would have had a chance if the Warriors' second unit didn't give up a 30 fucking point lead and bring it down to fucking like 12 so all the starters could get back in the game and rack up points for 5 more minutes. So I'm a little fucking pissed. I know that it's just the way it goes and it's up and down, but I've played superstars for the past 2 fucking weeks, and all of them fucking let me down. And then tonight, everybody fucking rostered them. Everybody. George, Curry, Durant. I rostered LeBron because that's the only guy I trusted. And for some reason, all the fucking superstars decided to put up 60 fantasy points. And Klay Thompson was fucking 50% owned, just like Pat Beverly. And Thompson decided to exceed value by like 30 fucking points. So I don't understand it. I don't fucking get it. I don't know why the fuck everybody played him. But anyways, on to today's slate. My fucking rant's over with. Let's start with Miami at Charlotte. Looks like it's a 1-point spread, a 193 over-under. I saw earlier that Lou Alding's going to play, so that pretty much eliminates Gerald Green from any consideration, and Justice Winslow's never somebody on my radar anyways, so I wouldn't really play with that. Cody Zeller, he looks nice. I mean, he's getting a good amount of minutes every game. His price has gone up a little bit to 4K. It's not somebody that I'm probably going to roster in cash, but it's a nice filler if you like the rest of your lineup and you need to put him in there. Also on the Charlotte side, Marvin Williams, he's been racking up minutes. I'm assuming Jefferson's still out. I haven't really seen anything on that. But Marvin Williams has been getting, 30 minutes a game, and that's probably not going to change. The matchup isn't great because he's probably going to have a lot of Bosch, and he's going to have to defend a lot. But we also know that Bosch isn't the greatest defender in the world. So Marvin Williams, also a nice filler. I don't really love anyone from this game. Jeremy Lin, he's been playing pretty well. Kemba was sick, and there was that whole issue the other night. But, look for Lin to have his normal bench role and not really be a great fantasy option. Dwayne Wade has been playing a lot better, but I still think his price is a little bit high. One of the best tournament plays out there day in and day out, but not somebody that I'm looking at for 7,500, I don't think. He's too hit or miss. Jeremy Lamb, also a nice filler, but I don't think he's going to have a great game. Look for him to maybe get 20 fantasy points, which isn't enough at his price at 40. It's even gone down. It's 4,500, but the minutes just aren't there, probably 20 to 25 minutes. Batum is a great play here. His price is at 7,500, which is a little higher than it's been. But I really like his matchup. I expect him to be, a solid fit for 30 fantasy points. I saw a statistic the other day that showed that his usage has gone up more than any other player in the last season. So with Charlotte, he's found a home. He's got a big role in their offense, and I expect him to do well, even though it's against Miami. The scoring is going to have to come from somewhere, and I think Batum is the guy that's going to provide. Chris Bosh, he's okay. I'm not going to play him tonight. Good tournament play. Hassan Whiteside, his price has finally gone down a little bit, but I'm still not going to roster him. I think he has a decent matchup, so it's not a horrible play, but a guy that gets in foul trouble way too much to be in my cash game lineups. Usually a nice pivot at center. Kemba Walker, I don't love him in this game. I'm probably not going to play him. I don't even see him getting to 30 fantasy points, and at his price of $7,700, just not worth it to me. Goran Dragic, guy's been playing a lot better lately, but his price is around 6K, and that's just not a good price for him. He's pretty much priced above his production, and you treat it like a stock market. You buy low, you sell high, and when a guy like Dragic's price is up to almost 6K, not somebody I want to roster. That's pretty much it from this game. I'm going to move on. We've got Houston at Washington. Looks like it's a 3.5-point spread, and the over-under is a 215.5, which I believe is exactly what the Golden State over-under was yesterday. Let's take a quick look at the injuries. It looks like Hilario Nene, of course, is questionable. Gooden is also questionable. Gortat is active for this game, and that looks like, well, we got Trevor Ariza as doubtful. So obviously we saw that Marcus Thornton stepped up in a huge way last night. I don't know how people predicted to roster that guy in tournaments, but they did. And I saw the guy that won, I think, the $20,000 tournament had little Marcus Thornton in his lineup. So Corey Brewer has been playing really well. I think he's going to see close to 30 minutes tonight. In a game with a high over-under and his price being at $3,600, I think that's an outstanding play. Marcus Thornton at $3,500, I think that's also a great play. I mean, you can't really go wrong with either one of these guys. Obviously, Corey Brewer is a little more of a favorite because he plays small forward. So filling the small forward position on FanDuel, always a fucking nightmare. Marcus Thornton, a shooting guard, which, sometimes shooting guard can be a fucking disaster too. I haven't really looked at building lineups yet, so it's hard for me to say which one to use, but basically whichever one fits seems like a good option. Jared Dudley, I can't roster this guy anymore. His name matches his production, Dudley. Not trying to be funny, he's just fucking awful. I don't see it. I see a few people making him one of their favorite plays of the night, and I'm not going the Jared Dudley route. Just doesn't do enough while he's on the court. Gortat coming back, his minutes should decrease a tiny bit because they won't go with the all-small lineup. Clint Capella, he burned a lot of people yesterday. I'm not on him. Dwight's playing, it looks like, every game now, even though he's on a minutes restriction. And Capella's price pretty much matches his production. Another buy low, sell high scenario. Patrick Beverly, his price only went up another $100 on FanDuel. He's a very safe guy to roster. I saw a lot of people roster him last night. I didn't go that route. I tried to get cute and go with Moutier and Conley, and it fucked me. So Patrick Beverly, solid play. I think you can plug him in at 4,100 and feel great about it. Bradley Beal, let's just talk about Beal and Wall at the same time. Beal has a far superior matchup than John Wall does, but fading John Wall even seems tough these days, the way he's been playing. I don't know what the fuck was wrong with him to start the season, but all of a sudden he just decided to wake up out of nowhere. He did have that knee scare. I think it was a knee, either a knee or neck. I think it was his knee. the other day, but it looks like he's fine. He came back. I rostered him again when he played last time. So Wall, not my favorite play of the night. Not my favorite play of the night, but it's hard to deny that the way he's been playing makes him worth rostering. So take a look at that. Beverly is a great defender, and that's the only thing that scares me off, but a lot of Wall stuff comes off assists, so I don't know if it'll affect him that much. Bradley Beal, greatest matchup of the night. This guy's going to have fucking Harden on him, or, maybe some Brewer. With Ariza being out, the Rockets are very limited in what they can do on the defensive end. Ariza usually takes, one of the two best offensive players on the other team. And if Ariza is indeed out, which, did I say he was questionable or doubtful? Ariza's doubtful, so you can pretty much assume that he's not going to play tonight. And that means that Thornton and Brewer and Terrence Jones get more minutes, and all three of those guys. I mean, Brewer's an okay defender, but the other two really fucking suck at defense. So Washington, Wall, and Beal pretty much do everything, which is why I love both of them tonight. Gortat, I don't love his matchup, but you can't deny the way the guy was playing before he went to Poland for a family emergency. 6,200, his price has come up a little bit. I'd still take a hard look at him at center. The only concern with him is minutes, but I would assume that he's a little rested coming off. I think he missed 4 games maybe. And if Nene and is Humphreys, is there any news on Humphreys? If Nene and Gooden are out, it helps him. If Humphreys is out, that really helps. I don't see Humphreys on the injury report, so go ahead and scratch that idea. He'll probably see 29 minutes, maybe 30. 6,200. He should approach value, probably 25 fantasy points, maybe 30. So not an awful play in cash games. I really trust him in a game that's going to be going up and down the entire night. Otto Porter, been playing a lot better lately. His price is at 5,600. Not one of my favorite plays, despite the fact that he gets the minutes. If you're going to play someone like Porter, you might as well just play Brewer or Thornton. That's pretty much it. I mean, Gary Neal loses a little bit of his shine with Gortat coming back because they won't go with the small lineup. Same with Sessions. Dwight Howard, minutes limit, probably not a good spot. And that's pretty much it. I mean, if you want to take a chance on Terrence Jones in a tournament, you can do that, but it's pretty obvious the coach doesn't like Terrence Jones very much. He's more on the Brewer and Thornton bandwagon. Let's move on to the Chicago game. It looks like it's the Bulls at Boston. 2.5 point spread, 201.5 over under. It's not horrible, but it's obviously not one of the best ones of the night. And for some reason, when I target Boston, they either blow someone out or get blown out, and it always fucks me. So let's take a look real quick, see if we got any injuries. It looks like David Lee's questionable, and RJ Hunter is also questionable. Not a whole lot of fantasy impact there. Jared Sullinger, one of my favorite plays of the night. Chicago, they've got Gasol, and that's pretty much it in the front court. I think Sullinger's going to eat him alive. I think he'll probably get, his normal, 25 to 30 minutes a game. He never really exceeds that. But at 6K, he's still sitting right into where he reaches value nearly every night. Jay Crowder. This is a Crowder kind of game. With the likes of Butler and Rose out there, I would assume that he defends them for a decent period of time, and even if he's matched up against Mirotic, it's not going to hurt him at all. He's a very safe small forward play. Not a great play, but very safe. Kelly Olynyk, one of my favorite tournament options of the night. His price is at 4,100, and he's been seeing a steady uptick in minutes in production over the last couple games. I have no issues with going there. Mirotic is a fairly safe play. I don't hate that idea. Mirotic and Noah more tournament suited than cash. Jimmy Butler's just overpriced, and Isaiah Thomas has gotten to the point where he's overpriced now too. Even though I love the matchup against Derrick Rose, if IT2 starts going off, you will see Jimmy Butler take him. So I'm off of the IT2 and Jimmy Butler train. McDermott, no fucking way. Evan Turner, no fucking way. Amir Johnson, Taj Gibson, Avery Bradley, Pau Gasol, Derrick Rose, no fucking way, no fucking way, no fucking way, no fucking way, no fucking way. Sullinger, Crowder, maybe Mirotic, really the only options I see here due to price mostly. Next game of the night is Memphis at Detroit. This game is fucking disgusting. You got a 192.5 over-under and a 4-point spread. I'm so fucking mad at Memphis right now. I mean, I can't even put into words how much I fucking hate what their coach did last night by pulling the starters 5 minutes into the third quarter when the game was still within reach. It's fucking embarrassing. I know it was a back-to-back, but at least fucking try through the end of the third quarter. That's fucking pathetic. Let's see if we got any injuries, and I apologize for not being better prepared. I've obviously been working today. Looks like Marc Gasol is questionable, which creates some big-time front court value if he is indeed out, and the game is an early one, so we should know that news. JaMychal Green, also questionable. If both of those guys are out, obviously it gives a huge bump to Zach Randolph. So really need to keep an eye on that, and it obviously gives a bump to Andre Drummond, who also fucked me the last time I played him. But if I fade him, then I'm sure he'll go off for 60 fucking fantasy points. Stanley Johnson, decent value. Probably not someone I'm going to roster. But if you want to take a shot in a tournament, it's definitely not a bad idea. Reggie Jackson, his price is at $7,300. I see him approaching value in this game. He's a decent cash game play the way he's been playing, getting 30-plus minutes every game. I really don't hate that. Courtney Lee has seen a bigger role in the offense lately. I think he's a nice little $3,800 plug-and-play at shooting guard if you want to go that route. Andre Drummond, Randolph's an awful defender, and if Gasol and JaMychal Green are out, I really don't know who is going to step up and play in their front court besides Zebo. And that means that Drummond should have a huge game. But last time Drummond was supposed to have a huge game, and the time before that, he had shitty games. So, at your own risk, perfect tournament play. He's going to see minutes unless he gets 5 fouls in 3 quarters like he did last time. From now on, I fade the Andre Drummonds and the Anthony Davises of the world. Because of foul trouble specifically, and especially DeMarcus Cousins, because for some reason these guys are just too fucking stupid to not foul. I mean, how fucking hard is it? You don't reach in, you don't reach your fucking hands over somebody's face, you don't try to swat anything, you just don't fucking foul when you get 2 fouls in the first quarter. Don't fucking do it. You get 1 foul in the first quarter, and I see these dumbasses reaching in or trying to draw charges at fucking midcourt. You're a fucking sinner. Stop fucking fouling. It's really not that difficult. Do not fucking foul. Okay. Mike Conley, fuck you. I don't trust Mike Conley. I think he's a fucking sack of shit. He decided to fuck me last night, and I'm not putting any more fucking money on a cash game with him. Zach Randolph, as mentioned, if Gasol's out, fire him up. He'd probably be 85% owned. Marcus Morris gets the minutes. I don't love the matchup. Marc Gasol, obviously, if he's in, still not a great play against the likes of Andre Drummond. Ilyasova, I see people throw him out there sometimes, but at 4,400, I'm not going to. If Gasol's out, you can expect a smaller lineup and a lot more of Jeff Green. So if Gasol is ruled out and JaMychal Green's ruled out, Jeff Green will probably be in the majority of my cash game lineups. And I think that's pretty much it. I'm not going to touch Tony Allen. Too much of a defensive specialist to ever do much of anything. God, this game sucks too. San Antonio at Toronto. You got a 6-point spread, 189.5 over under. Not seeing any injury news on this one. Well, we got Kawhi Leonard. What does it say over here? Yeah, Kawhi Leonard's probable, so no surprise there. He wasn't even fucking sick last time. Lucas Nogueira is what I'm going to fucking call him, Nogueira. He's questionable, so that would mean to fire up Bismack. Biombo. Let's see what we got. Danny Green. His price is all the way down to $3,500 now. They just want to keep tempting us to play fucking Danny Green. The guy sees close to 30 minutes a game. I apologize for my Facebook thing going off. How do you not roster somebody at minimum salary when they're getting close to 30 minutes a game? I don't know. But this guy has fucking sucked lately. So, I don't know. He might fit into a cash game for me tonight at $3,500. It's not highly recommended, but he should have a nice floor with the amount of minutes he plays. Corey Joseph burned a shit ton of people last time out, and against San Antonio, you got the revenge factor. He'll probably see his 30 minutes, but I don't like taking anyone against San Antonio ever. I know it sounds dumb, but I don't roster people against San Antonio. Luis Scola, I'm not going there. His minutes are down. No Luis Scola. Terrence Ross. No, because I don't see any news on DeMario Carroll, which I'm assuming he's in if I haven't seen any news yet. Kyle Lowry, you want to target a point guard against San Antonio, go ahead. I probably can't do it. I just don't trust anyone against San Antonio. Biombo, I don't even really trust him against San Antonio. And San Antonio, I really don't like anybody over there with the exception of Kawhi Leonard. Seems like a Kawhi kind of game. He just got a little bit of rest. He's going to see his 35 minutes. But his price has crept up there to $8,800. Yeah. Probably a little too high because I think he only gets around 35 to maybe 38 fantasy points tonight. But he's always a nice cash game option. He's, the second tier LeBron James. He just always comes away with the same amount of points, and he doesn't ever really hurt you, with the exception of a blowout a few nights ago. Ginobili, Patterson, DeRozan, Aldridge, Parker. Won't have any of those guys in my lineups tonight, and don't even really love any of them, with the exception of maybe the Duncan throw-in in tournaments. Let's move on to the Lakers at the Timberwolves. You got a 7-point spread, 204.5 over under. I did see somewhere today that D'Angelo Russell and who else was it? Shit. Why am I going blank right now? D'Angelo Russell and it was Randall are both only going to see about 25 minutes a game while they're rolling with their new lineup. So, don't roster D'Angelo Russell or Julius Randle. Larry Nance. I've watched this guy play a few times, and I really, really like him as a fantasy option. I can't remember how many points he got last game, but this guy's all over the court. And in a game against somebody like Minnesota where there's a lot of pace and not a lot of defense, I think he's just going to be the guy that hustles. He's finally gotten his opportunity. The coaches rave about him. The announcers rave about him. The guy just has a good basketball IQ, real similar to the way they talk about TJ McConnell over in Philly, except this guy's actually athletic. The guy's a freak of nature. It's like he's on a pogo stick every time he's down by the basket. It looks like he'll get close to 30 minutes based on what coach is saying. And he should really stuff the stat sheet. One of my favorite plays of the night, Larry Nance, the power forward for the Los Angeles Lakers. I think you can fire him up and expect a minimum of 20 fantasy points. So at 3,600, that's a pretty solid deal. Gorgie Ding, or Jing. Jing, is it Jing or Ding? Somebody correct me on Twitter. 4,600, his price doesn't go up. His production remains the same. I really like him tonight, especially against a weak Los Angeles front court. Fire him up. Gorgie Jing, Ding, whatever. Great center play at 4,600. Been very solid. I have no issues there. Lou fucking Williams. Didn't think I'd ever see the day where I wanted to roster old Lou Will in cash games. But 30 minutes, shit tons of shots. The guy has a smooth fucking stroke from outside. And I am all on the Lou Williams bandwagon at 4,600. There's a lot of good value in this game. Ricky Rubio. This is interesting. Rubio's been kind of up and down lately, and therefore his price has settled in around 7,100. Against the Lakers, fast-paced matchup. I'm all for Rubio. Clarkson, not the best defender. Kobe, if he's on him, not a great defender. Lou Williams, horrible defender. So this lines up for a really nice night for Ricky Rubio, and I am all on the Rubio bandwagon. Karl Anthony Towns, or as they call him in Minnesota, Cat, which I think is fucking stupid. They need to come up with a better nickname for that guy. Coach doesn't play this guy heavy minutes. I don't fucking get it. But I still see him getting a double-double today, and at 6,900, a double-double should put him within range of value. I don't know why Coach doesn't play him more. Who the fuck knows? He doesn't ever rebound enough for me, but I feel like he'll get plenty of rebounds in this game. Kevin Martin, the shittiest shooter I've ever seen this year. The guy was fucking money for his entire career and decided to come in and just shoot like shit now. His minutes are down. I'm not going to roster him. Shabazz Muhammad kind of sharing minutes as well. Not somebody that I'm going to look at. Hibbert, meh. Not going to touch the old 7-foot fucking sloth Roy Hibbert tonight. Doesn't have a horrible matchup. He sees a decent amount of minutes. 4,800, I can't argue with you on a tournament, but not a cash game option for me. Andrew Wiggins, another guy that fucking burned me the other night. The list goes on and on and on. I don't know why I thought it was a good idea to run Wiggins out there, but small forward looked like shit, and I had some money to spend. So, Andrew Wiggins, this is his kind of game, but tournament only. Do not play the fucking guy in cash. He will burn you more than he helps you, as proven by my fucking lineup the other night. Jordan Clarkson, he's starting still, and he's getting heavy minutes, and he's at 5,600, so I do not hate that play, especially against the defense of Rubio. Rubio will get some steals, but he's not necessarily a great defender. Kobe Bryant, he'll get his 30 minutes, and he'll put up his shots, but at 6,700, there are better options on the slate. Zach LaVine, very interesting. Guy's been seeing a lot of minutes lately. His price hasn't gone up at all. 5,800, I don't hate that play. I think it's a pretty nice overall pick if you have that much to spend at shooting guard. Bjelica, no, I don't know how to say his first name. Nemanja Bjelica. He's on the comeback trail. Keep an eye on him, but don't roster him yet. If you want to sneak him in one tournament, maybe I'm okay with that. And Randall's still priced like a starter, so we are not going to go there. Clippers at the Bucks. Looks like it's a 6-point spread and a 201.5 over/under. Anytime you see a 6-point spread on a 10-game slate, you want to be cautious. Let's take a quick look at the injury news. It looks like Tyler Ennis is active and Grievous Vasquez is questionable. And I also saw somewhere that Jared Bayless is out. So basically means OJ Mayo will be fine, but you're probably going to see MCW or Tyler Ennis start at point guard if I had to guess. And probably Ennis just to fuck us all up. OJ Mayo still solid. He's still going to see his 30 to 35 minutes, and his price it's climbed up a little bit to 4,600, and that's probably still not high enough for me not to roster him. Obviously, the shooting guards of the Clippers suck ass at defense. Jamal Crawford and JJ Redick couldn't guard me if I was wearing fucking dress shoes and dribbling across the basketball court. Jabari Parker, interesting if he starts at 5K. Should stuff the stat sheet against a horrible rebounding team in the Clippers. John Henson, Michael Carter-Williams, if he starts, yes. If he doesn't start, probably not. Blake Griffin looks okay here. Price still sitting around 9,300. He's been pretty consistent. It's hard to argue with that pick. Just not one of my favorites of the night. Greg Monroe, one of my favorite tournament options against the Clippers. I just don't like the way Monroe plays. He plays really slow. He doesn't crash the boards. He's not very consistent, and therefore I do not play him in my cash games. Redick, no. Middleton, probably not at 5,600. DeAndre Jordan, Chris Paul, too expensive. The Greek Freak, who knows what the fuck's going on with him. I'm not playing him. Crawford, no, since Redick's back. And that's pretty much it. I mean, I would say Mayo is probably my only lock or close to a lock from that game, with Griffin and Monroe being considered and possibly Parker and MCW if they start. See what else we got. Orlando at Phoenix. Good old fucking Scott Skiles, my favorite fucking coach. For once yesterday, Scott Skiles didn't fuck me when I played Vucevic. Probably because Vucevic fucking dominated. So even with Vucevic and LeBron and Hayward, I didn't fucking cash last night. So made some of the right plays, just also played Foy and Moutier and Conley, who combined for 25 fucking points. So that's pretty much why I got fucked last night. John Lure, it looks like they're shopping Markieff Morris. Therefore, he's not a fucking option. But John Lure at 4,400, fucking fire him up, especially against Orlando. The guy has been playing out of his fucking mind. He's been seeing 30 minutes a game. I really love that pick. And Eric Bledsoe, not usually very high on this guy because of his fucking price that never wavers even when he has shitty weeks. At 8,500, I am okay with Eric Bledsoe tonight. Not one of my favorite plays, but he is a good play at that price. Brandon Knight, not far behind him. I kind of like both of them. In cash, you could probably consider stacking them, but that's a pretty expensive backcourt. So if I had to pick one over the other tonight, it would probably be Bledsoe. Vucevic, he is in play again. I haven't seen, I think Tyson Chandler's questionable, and Aaron Gordon is questionable. Sorry, I'm a little scattered today, guys, but Vooch is an option. I kind of like him. His price still at 7,200. I think it's a little higher than it has been, but I still see him getting around 30 to 35 fantasy points minimum, which puts him in play. Elfrid Payton at close to 7K. He's a safe option, but he's not a great option against this front court, especially because Knight and Bledsoe really don't turn the ball over that much. And so I don't think Payton's going to get a lot of the defensive statistics that he normally gets. And I'm not looking at any stats on Bledsoe and Knight's turnovers, just based on what I've seen. I really don't see them handing the ball over to the other team very often. Boy, Fournier burned a lot of fucking people last night. That was kind of funny to watch. I wouldn't roster the fucking guy. Tobias Harris has been pretty solid. I think he's a nice cash game option, especially against the likes of PJ Tucker, even TJ Warren. I mean, I think those are nice matchups for him. Oladipo. I mean, he's still getting close to 30 minutes a game. He's been playing really well. His price is depressed, 7,600. Yeah, Oladipo is a good cash game option if you want to spend there. I just feel like there's better values that will come out, and you'll be able to pay up for somebody else at the shooting guard spot, like a Bledsoe. So Nicholson, I noticed that's a guy a lot of people have been on. I'm not on him tonight. His price has climbed up to 4K, and it's not a great play. If Tyson's out, I think Lynn makes a fine play because Lure doesn't have a chance against Vucevic. So look for Lynn to see an extended run if Tyson is indeed out. Looks like that's pretty much it from this game. Looks like we've only got 2 left. New York Knicks at the Utah Jazz. The over-under is set at 192, but I think that's more because of the Knicks, because it looks like the Jazz are not the same Jazz team that they were when they had Rudy Gobert. I've been fucked by playing Jazz players lately. Hayward's been coming through, but Favors, both times that I've rostered him, fucked me. And the time that I didn't roster him, I think he went off for 50 fantasy points. With that being said, the Knicks' center position is kind of a fucking mess. And Robin Lopez has no chance to slow down Derek Favors. So I'm not going to say he's a lock, but Favors is a nice play tonight. Trey Burke, it's a little surprising that he's been playing so well, but I guess with Gobert out, they're playing him a little more minutes. He's seen around 30 minutes a game. His price is depressed down to 4,800. And anytime you can get a guy for 4,800 that gets 20 to 25 fantasy points a game, plays 30 minutes, it's not a bad deal. Rodney Hood played well in the second half last night. He's just so hit or miss, and he gets in foul trouble so often. And in a slow game, I'm not really expecting Hood to fire up as many shots as he did last night. So he's not one of my favorite plays. Gordon Hayward, I'm hoping they don't put him on Melo because he won't be able to cover him. So surely they'll fix that and put him on somebody else. But I do like Hayward tonight on the offensive end. We all know Melo doesn't play a lot of defense, and there's no way that Porzingis can go out and guard Hayward. So I feel okay about rolling Hayward out. He's been seeing close to 40 minutes a game since the Gobert injury. Melo, just like I was talking about, he should have a nice offensive matchup. He's at 8,200. I think I like Hayward a little bit more, and plus Hayward's cheaper. So probably Hayward over Melo tonight at the small forward position. Burks looked really good yesterday, but he also has the highest price of that guard situation, and he comes off the bench, so I don't really trust Burks. I'm not trusting Booker yet. I know you guys are going to fucking rag me just like everyone else in the world, and it's not that I don't like Porzingis. I fucking love the guy. Dirk, I'm a big Dallas Mavericks fan. I live in Fort Worth. Dirk said that Porzingis is way better at that age than Dirk was, which is saying a lot. And if Porzingis can progress like Dirk, you could see one of the next greatest stretch fours in NBA history. So I really like Porzingis, but his price is too high for his inconsistency, his foul trouble, his minutes. He's not a guy that I trust in cash games, even though he is a guy that could go off for 50 fantasy points at any point in time. He's more of a tournament option for me. That's pretty much it from this game. I'm not touching the Calderones or the Aflalos or the Galloways. They all share too many minutes, and they all don't produce enough. Now, let's move on to one of my favorite games of the night, and it just so happens to be the latest game of the night, and that's the Atlanta Hawks at the Dallas Mavericks. And no, it's not just my favorite game because it's the Mavericks. It's because it's a 1-point spread, and there's a lot of fantasy opportunity in this game. Zaza Pachulia, his price has gone down yet again. He's down to 6,300. I think he's going to get 30 fantasy points. He's averaging a fucking double-double this year. I don't see him not getting a double-double tonight against the likes of Al Horford. And obviously with Horford and Millsap, they're going to need Zaza in the game on the block for a good amount of time. And if it stays close like it should, he should be just fine. Parsons, still on the minutes limit. He's not a bad option for cash, but he is a horrible option for a tournament because he has no upside with 24 minutes a game. Jeff Teague looks pretty nice here against Darren Williams. Wesley Matthews' price finally went up. I knew it would after that monster game where I did roster him and cash for once. 5,400. Still not horrible, but there's better plays on the night, so I'm going to stay away from Wes Matthews. Devin Harris is questionable. If he's out, obviously give a huge bump to Raymond Felton again. Millsap should do what Millsap does. I think he'll be fine, probably 35 to 40 fantasy points at 8,400. That's not bad. But you may find that there's options with higher ceilings and lower prices. Korver's active. Not going to touch him. Dirk's all the way up to 7,200 now. At 7,200, I don't think I can roster Dirk on a 10-game slate. 6-game slate, 7-game slate probably, but not on a 10-game slate. Splitter's active, no one cares. Thabo active, I don't care. Barea questionable. If Barea and Harris are out, Felton becomes a fantastic option, and I think you'll see a small bump to Darren Williams and Wesley Matthews in playing time as well. That's pretty much it, guys. Sorry for the disorganization. I just wanted to get something out so you guys can start building your lineups. Be sure to follow me on Twitter. It's at injericoswords.com. Well, that's my website. At injericoswords is my Twitter. I actually have a new website coming. Should be by the end of this month. So once it comes, I will make sure to post a link and let you guys know what the web address is. We're still deciding between two of them. And it'll really help streamline the lineups to my subscribers, articles, YouTube videos, forums. It's really going to be great. So be sure to subscribe to my YouTube page. Be sure to follow me at Twitter, at injericoswords. And I've spelt that in the title of this video just in case you need it. Thanks again, guys, as always. And good luck. Try not to get fucked too bad tonight.